Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Nesting Padasali. So this video is regarding answers for the question asked for this Icmr JRF examination. Okay, so I hope that all students who are given this Icmr JRF examination has wrote your examination fill. So in this video I just gathered a question and I just collected answers also with few proofs. Okay, so first question is that the Indian Council of Medical Research, that is Icmr, has updated a national ethical guideline for biomedical and health research involving human participants in which year? So they are asking at which year they had updated this particular rule. So the correct option is 2017. So this paper, this paper was published on 2019. In that just mentioned, Icmr has published third revised guidelines on this particular thing on 2017. Next question is that out of the following fractions of petroleum, the one having the lowest boiling point. So in this particular video, I'm going to share you the answers for question asked for both for section A and section B. Okay. So this question is with regarding to all other fractions of petroleum, among which have a lowest boiling point. The correct answer is gasoline, because if you take the boiling point of gasoline, it is 358 Kelvin, whereas boiling point for kerosene is 423 to 573, and boiling point for diesel is 453 to 633, and boiling point of heavy oil is 810 Kelvin. Next question is that when two ice cubes are pressed together, they join together. So identify the type of attraction which helps for the above process. Okay, so when you press two ice cubes, it results in a joining of two ice cubes, and the major type of attraction existing between them, or the reason for attraction, is due to the presence of hydrogen bond between water molecule. So the correct answer is hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond is present between, so that's why the two ice groups are getting attracted to each other. Next, which drug would you recommend to a friend who is traveling to 8,000 meter high mountain? Okay, so these are the list of drugs that you can prescribe. So these drugs are having an immense potential in order to prevent altitude sickness and all. So you can understand what are the drugs that has been asked. So all the drugs, so I just gathered this particular drug information from CDC website only. So, okay, so anti-sickness medicine is promethazine, and ibuprofen, paracetamol have been employed, and acetazolamide is also been used to prevent the high altitude sickness. Okay, so you gave the answer. I don't able to collect the answers for this question, so from this you can pick from which is the correct answer. Next, aspirin is obtained from acetyl salicylic acid, which is extracted from which part of the plant? So aspirin is extracted from bark of willow tree. Next, microbial biocontrol agent for butterfly caterpillar. The correct answer is Bacillus thuringiensis. So microbial biocontrol agent were introduced to control the butterfly caterpillar is a bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis. So in the market, it will be available at a sachet which consists of dried spores of this particular Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, and they will be mixing the spores with the water and they will be spraying onto the plant. Next, vinegar. So vinegar, the chemical name of vinegar is acetic acid. So acetic acid is also called as ethanoic acid, or the common name of vinegar is also acetic acid. The chemical formula is CH3COOH. The most abundant RNA in our body, the correct answer is ribosomal nucleic acid. It is a most abundant, forming 80% of total RNA. And the most lesser one is mRNA, which comprises about 3 to 5% of total RNA in a typical mammalian cell. Again, 90% of RNA present in cell kernel is again ribosomal RNA. Next, founder effect comes under which species? Whether it is coming under peripatric or parapatric, the correct option is peripatric speciation. So peripatric speciation has a close resemblance with allopatric speciation, friends. And in peripatric speciation, new species will be arise in an isolated or small peripheral population, and these species will be prevented from exchanging the gene with the main population. Okay, and this peripatric speciation is related to a concept of founder effect. So here you can able to find in this particular article, which has been available in Oxford Library. So founder effect speciation is a special case of allopatric speciation in which a geographical isolates were established from a small number of individuals. So founder's effect comes under this peripatric speciation. How many unusual bases are present in the transfer tRNA or tRNA? The correct answer is 3. The unusual bases present in, some are saying 2 and some are saying 3. So unusual basis is correct answer is 3. So first one is pseudouridine, which is derived from uracil, that's unusual basis, and another one is ionosine, which is also called as hypoxanthine, which is a modified base of adenine, and dihydrouridine is derived from uracil. Okay, so the correct answer is 3. Next question is 10 rounds of PCR will generate how many double-stranded DNA? Okay, so the number of double-stranded DNA pieces will usually double during each PCR cycle, and the formula is 2 to the power of n. N signifies the number of cycles, so here the number of cycle is 10. So 2 to the power of 10, so totally 1024 copies of DNA will be generated after 10 rounds of PCR. The total number of histone type present in the body. So there are 5 major histone type has been identified. H1, which is called as linker histone, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Okay, so here I had given a molecular weight, the number of amino acid, the percentage of lysine and arginine with them. So the correct answer is 5. Next, pollution indicator lichen. Like one question has been asked with regard to lichens. So lichens are very good pollution indicator because the species are susceptible to certain pollutants. Okay, so hence they do not grow. The lichens do not grow in a polluted areas and are found growing well only in non-polluted area. So lichens are generally employed as a pollution indicator. So which fish is found in marine water? So they had given list of things. So you should know when you are eating fish next time, make yourself clear about it. Marine water fishes include sardine, hilsa, pomfret and mackerel. So the correct option is mackerel, and the freshwater fishes include cutla and common crab. Next, which microorganism converts nitrate to nitrite and then to free nitrogen? The correct option is denitrification bacteria, denitrifying bacteria. So denitrification is a reverse process of nitrification. So during this process, the nitrate will be reduced to nitrate, and this particular nitrite will be released as a nitrogen gas and ammonia. Okay, so since these component gaseous compound, they are not readily available for microbial growth. Okay, therefore these particular compound like nitrogen gas and ammonia will be released into the atmosphere. Okay, so these are Pseudomonas, Bacillus, Pyrillum, Hypomicrobium, Agrobacterium, Actinobacter, Propionobacterium, Rhizobium, Cornybacterium, Alkaligens, Thiobacillus are the few denitrifying bacterial genera. Next, statin are observed from. So statin are a product of fermentation and they are obtained from a yeast called as Monascus purpureus. Okay, and this statin they generally resemble a mevalonic acid or mevalonate, and they are the competitive inhibitor of HMG-CoA reductase. So this particular enzyme play an important role in cholesterol biosynthesis pathway. So generally this particular statin drugs are employed for lowering the blood cholesterol level, and these are the few list of statins available in the market. Next, ANOVA test. So one kind of test was asked, one question was asked in biostatistics. So ANOVA test is type of statistical test which is used to determine if there is any statistical significant differences existing between 2 or more category group. If the test sample is 2 or more, then they will be employing this ANOVA technique. Next, what is a bond present between antigen and antibody? So you can refer this particular oldest article which was published on 1986. They said that antigen and antibody bonds are weak physical bond. So covalent bond is not included. So covalent bond is not present, and list of bonds that are present in this particular antigen and antibody is Coulombic bond, Ca2 bridges, hydrogen bond, and this van der Waals bonds. Okay, so generally the primary bonds are mainly a type 1, that is Coulombic bond, and van der Waals bonds are highly present, whereas if you take the Ca2 plus bridges and hydrogen bonds are present only in a rarest cases. Okay, the correct option are either Coulombic bond, Ca2 plus bridges, hydrogen bond, or van der Waals bond. What is the full form of LED? The full form of LED is light emitting diodes. Hemoglobin contains how many molecules of O2 bond? So the correct answer for this question is that hemoglobin contains a protein portion called globulin and another pigment portion called heme. Okay, so the heme protein consists of 4 atoms of iron, that is Fe molecule. Each atom of iron is capable of combining with a molecule of O2. Okay, therefore one hemoglobin molecule carries 4 molecules of oxygen. So the next, 3D structure of protein can be determined by all techniques. Which of the following technique is not employed for determining the 3D structure of protein? Okay, so the correct answer is Ramachandran plot. You might be knowing that NMR and X-ray crystallography are used for determining 3D structure of protein, and also you might be doubting this particular crayon electron microscopy. And here you can be able to see this crayon electron microscopy is also used for determining the 3D structure of protein. So the odd one out is Ramachandran plot. So Ramachandran plot is generally a 2-dimensional plot, and this particular plot is generally used for determining the Trauser angle of amino acid. That is, they will be determining only the angle of amino acid, and it's to have no role in determining the structure of protein. Okay. Next thing is with regarding to most abundant antibody in a human. So correct answer is IgG, which is the most abundant circulating antibody. This IgG make up about 80% of total antibodies, and they make about 75% of total antibody that are found in the serum. The second most abundant circulating antibody is IgA. Okay, so next the full form of HDVC is the full form of HVAC is high voltage alternating current, but in question they ask the full form of HDVC. The full form is high voltage direct current. Next, who coined the term linkage? Actually, the concept of linkage was first reported by this Bateson and Punnett only, but they are asking who coined the term linkage. The correct answer is T.H. Morgan, who was the first to coin this particular term linkage when he was working with fruit flies. Next, which of the following plant or organism sexually reproduce only once in a lifetime? So the correct answer is banana. Since banana is a monocarpic plant, it reproduces sexually only once in the lifetime, hence it flowers only once in a life. Okay, so these are general knowledge related questions. If you have banana, or if you have any village side, if you grow in bananas, then definitely you should know about this particular thing. And if you take mango and tomato, they are perennial plant, okay, because it grows and flower more than 2 years. And eucalyptus, it is an annual plant which completes its life cycle within 1 year itself. Okay. The next, which joint is found between carpels? The correct answer is gliding joint, which is present in carpels, and the hinge joints are present between the knee joint. Okay, so the correct option is gliding joint. Next, conversion of fumarate to malate involved. To convert fumarate to malate, okay, so fumarate is converted into malate in a reaction which is catalyzed by the enzyme called fumarase, and this reaction requires a water molecule as a reactant. So the conversion of fumarate to malate involves the addition of H2O. So there is a question with regarding to legal blood alcohol concentration. So blood alcohol concentration, in a short form called BAC, is the amount of alcohol in your blood that develops from a drinking alcohols. Okay, so the level can range either from 0% to 0.4%. Okay, and the minimum alcohol content limit varies from country to country. Okay, in India, the allowed blood alcohol concentration, that is legal way, is 0.03%, whereas in United States the blood alcohol content should be 0.08%. Okay, so only you wrote the examination and you know the complete question. I think providing these answers will be really helpful. And here I had given you a list of concentration and what is the thing. If you want more in-depth analysis with regarding to BAC, you can look about this particular PPT also. Next, E. coli is present in water present which type of pollution? So E. coli is a fecal coliform bacteria. Okay, and it is commonly found in the intestine of animals and human. Okay, and this E. coli is a strong indicator of sewage or animal waste contamination. Okay, so it is a water. So E. coli in water represent water pollution or sewage or animal waste contamination. Next, there is a question with regarding to spleen and lymph node activation of mature B and T cell. Okay, the naive B cell or naive T cell activation generally occur in the secondary lymphoid organs like spleen, lymph node, tonsil, Peyer's patches, and other mucosal tissue. Okay, so in these tissue, that cell receptor, that is T cell receptor, B cell receptor, will be encountering a appropriate antigen presenting cell. Next, why some diabetic patient taking metformin need more number of vitamin B12? Okay, so this one question was asked. So metformin is a drug which was prescribed for more number of diabetic patients, that is specifically type 2 diabetic patients. Okay, so this drug works by reducing the amount of glucose produced in the liver, as well as it will be increasing the sensitivity of insulin by patient. Okay, this metformin is causing a varying degree of vitamin B12 deficiency. Okay, so person who are intaking this metformin is affected from this vitamin B12 deficiency, and if you take the role of vitamin B12 is playing an important role in determining the brain and nerve function. Okay, and the most significant concern for type 2 diabetic patients who are taking metformin in order to manage the blood sugar is that they could be experience severe or permanent nerve damage. Next, what does mean by Road to Health chart? So, Road to Health chart, which is a short form, it's called as RTHC, is a record chart that is carried by a caregiver that combines essential information on growth monitoring of a child, immunization, vitamin A supplementation, deworming medicine, and other illness. Okay, so it's just a chart which will be carrying all the essential information of a newborn. Next, a pair of fried rice is thrown independently 3 times. The probability of getting a score of 9 exactly twice, the answer is 8 by 243 is the correct answer. Next, phase 1 clinical trial. So, during the phase 1 clinical trial, researcher will be testing the capability of a new drug in a normal volunteer, or in other ways we can say healthy people. In most cases, totally 20 to 80 healthy volunteer or people with a disease or condition participate in the phase 1. Okay, so phase 1 trial, they generally done in a normal volunteer only. Next thing, BLAST program uses for the range of protein. Okay, so the length of string to index is called as word size. Okay, it is configurable by the user, which is also called as query sequence while attempting this BLAST program. The allowable range of word size varies according to the BLAST program that is used, and typically values for 3 is used for protein to protein sequence searches, and value of 11 is used for nucleotide to nucleotide searches. Okay, the word size for protein is 3 and the word size for nucleotide it is 11. Next, this particular anatomy is found in which particular thing? So Kranz anatomy is found in a specialized structure in the leaves of C4 plant. Next, what is the function of aminopterin in hat media? So in hat selection process, so if you study this hybridoma technology, then definitely you should know about this particular concept. In hat selection process, the aminopterin, which is a folic acid inhibitor, blocks the production of DNA by a classic de novo pathway. So aminopterin blocks the de novo pathway and kills the melanoma cell. Next, which of the following repair system faithfully repair double standard break? Okay, so if you refer this particular article which has been published in 2011, here they just mentioned double standard breaks are repaired by two pathways. One is homologous recombination pathway and another one is non-homologous DNA end joining pathway. So the correct answer is homologous recombination repair pathway or non-homologous DNA end joining pathway. Next, which type of genetic material is present in corona? I think this coronavirus, and this particular question is highly repeated. It has been asked last year also. So the correct answer is that coronaviral genome or enveloped virus, and they have a non-segmented single standard positive strength ribonucleic acid as their nucleic acid. Next, in a STS-page technique, polymerization occurs between. So polymerization occurs because of the free radical which will be reacting with a vinyl group in acrylamide and bisacrylamide. So polymerization is generally occurring between acrylamide and bisacrylamide, and it will be induced by this ammonium sulfate. Next, larger fragment of DNA resolved by which technique? Ultimately, agrogel electrophoresis is a technique which is used for separation of DNA, and the principle is that it separates the DNA based on size. Okay, and we need electric charge for it, and it could able to separate a DNA fragment ranging from 100 base pair to 25 kilo base pair. Next, inulin is found in root of which plant? The correct answer is dahlia. So inulin molecule obtained from a dahlia tuberose is called as dahliin, and dahliin tubule will be yielding a pure lemonose sugar which is also called as diabetic sugar. Okay, so it is employed as a drug for patients who are suffering from diabetes. Okay, so they also have filed a patent, so you can refer this Google patent, and here I have given a patent ID also if you want more in-depth analysis about this particular thing. Next, when we switch on a fan in a closed room, the temperature of an air molecule will either increase or decrease or remain same, or maybe increase or decrease depend. So the correct option is it will increase. That is, since they are saying closed room, then there is no other modes of energy. So the energy input of room is coming from a energy of fan, okay, which will be consuming the electric power. So energy that is drawn by the fan motor will be converted into a kinetic energy of the air molecule present in the room, and this kinetic energy will then be converted into thermal energy. So that's why there is an increase in temperature of air molecule present in the room. Which of the following is acting as a surfactant? The correct answer is shampoo. Shampoo surfactants are generally anionic or amphoteric in nature. Anionic surfactant is shampoo providing your detergency and leatheriness, and amphoteric surfactants present in the shampoo are being used for decreasing the irritations. Okay, so what will happen when we drop a heavier and a lighter object with the same radius and from a same height in a vacuum? So you should read the question completely. So in the real world, when you drop a heavy object as well as lighter object, the heavier object will be fall faster. Okay, but here they are saying a vacuum space. So in the vacuum space, both will be fall at the same time itself. Okay, the object falling in vacuum, the only force present is gravitational force. So heavier and lighter object will have a same acceleration. So if you drop both of them at the same distance, then the time for both object to reach the ground will be same. Okay, therefore heavier object and lighter object will reach the ground at the same time. So the next question is, which one of the following amino acid absorb light at 280 nanometer? So the absorption at 280 nanometer is due to almost entirely by aromatic amino acid like tryptophan and tyrosine generally absorb at 280 nanometer. So at 260 nanometer generally phenylalanine absorbs. Okay, whereas this histidine, methionine, cysteine will be absorbed between 225 to 240 nanometer. Okay, so here I think the option in they ask imidazole ring. Okay, so imidazole ring is not present in tryptophan, it is present only in this particular. So imidazole ring is present only in histidine amino acid. So the correct answer might be indole ring of tryptophan. Okay, but here in the Squaregen website, what they just mentioned is that imidazole is also having an absorption spectra of UV radiation at 280 nanometer. So this things only when official answer key has been released, only I can able to figure out. But here if they ask imidazole ring of this histidine means, then that particular option is also correct. But at 280 nanometer, generally tryptophan and tyrosine will be absorbing. Next, TLR binds to which antigen? So toll-like receptor 3 recognizes the double-stranded RNA derived from viruses. Okay, and also this TLR generally recognizes the double-stranded RNA in endosome. Okay, these endosomes are the common features of viral genome which are internalized by macrophages and dendritic cell. So the antigen is double-stranded RNA which derived from virus or in endosome, which is a common feature of viral genome. Next, during DNA replication, the DNA polymerase synthesis on leading strand is produced which type of fragment? If they ask lagging strand means, then absolutely you can click Okazaki filament, but I don't know the correct question as well as option. If you know the correct question or option, please do tell me in the comment section. Next, which of the following phenomenon increases the phagocytosis? Okay. So, which of the following phenomenon increases the phagocytosis? So, the correct answer is opsonization. Opsonization is nothing but it's an immune process which will be using this opsonin in order to tag a foreign pathogens for elimination by phagocytosis. So, without this particular opsonin, what will be happen means the negative charge present in the cell wall of pathogen and the phagocyte will start to repel each other. This makes the pathogen to get avoid from destruction and they continue to replicate inside the human body. Okay. So, here comes the opsonin, which are a significant protein present in the play an important role in a process of opsonization. This option is generally used to overcome the repellent forces existing between the negative cell wall of pathogen and they promote uptake of pathogen by microorganism. Next, there's a question with regarding to summer sleep and winter sleep. So, aestivation is a state of animal dormancy in responding to high temperature condition, that is summer sleep. Aestivation is also called a summer sleep, and winter sleep, that is aestivation is similar to hibernation. Hibernation is a winter sleep in which the animal will be entering into a dormancy during the winter time point. Okay, so if you know some other question, then please do tell me in the comment section so that I'll be collecting the answers for those questions also. Thank you friends. If you have any discrepancy for any answers for any particular question, then do please tell me in the comment section. I'll clarify with you. Thank you friends. Thanks for watching this video.